Good morning. Welcome to the Farmhouse kitchen. It's early. It's 7:30. It's a -7 degrees out. So coffee's hot. Grab you a cup. I'm about to make breakfast. This morning I'm making some homemade biscuits, and I'm going to do up some sausage patties, egg and cheese, so we can have some little egg and cheese sausage on biscuits. So you're looking at my natural state in the morning. It's not pretty, but it's early and I don't care. So I'm gonna get started. So I've got me some flour here, and I'm gonna move you down so you don't have to look at my bed head, because this is just how it is in the morning. So I got my measuring cups here, and I need 2 cups of flour. Gonna heat these in. Sorry, 2 cups of flour, not 3. It's early in the morning yet, and I don't know if I'm quite awake because I haven't had a full cup of coffee yet. So, 2 cups of flour. I use King Arthur. Set that aside. I need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And get this going. While you were sleeping, I've already got my old-time stove going. She's fired up and heating up, so I can get my biscuits into a hot oven when I get them ready. I was gonna do these last night after dinner, but I decided to do them this morning because I want a hot biscuit right out of the oven, and that is probably the best way to eat them. They're good reheated, but I love them straight out of the oven. So I need a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, and I put in 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So if you want this recipe, write it down, because I'm old-fashioned. I like to keep it simple, so you can follow me along. Teaspoon of, okay, I need a ½ teaspoon of salt. So I got salt. I'm gonna do a ½ teaspoon of salt. And this will make approximately 16 biscuits, depending on how big your cutter is. And then I'm gonna need a quarter cup of vegetable shortening. I don't really measure my shortening, I just eyeball. So about a quarter cup, I just guesstimate. So, close enough. A quarter cup is good. A little more. I wouldn't say a little less. I want my biscuits to be kind of flaky and delicious. So if I put a little more in there, that would be good. And you can even use butter if you want that buttery taste. Sometimes I'll add a little half shortening, half butter. So it's up to you. I've got about 1 cup of buttermilk left. Let me grab a wooden spoon. And I'm gonna mix this up. Actually, before I mix it, I got my pastry blender. You need one of these to chop your shortening into your flour, just to blend it up. It's early in the morning. I'm not too awake yet to get started, but I want to get my day started early because I have a lot of things to do. I'm going to go straight up to my sewing room after breakfast and get things started in there. So I'm going to try to get another video uploaded today. So you'll probably see a lot coming from me. I did my last night's dinner. Last night's dinner was fabulous. It hit the spot. And if you get a chance, try it. You'll really like it. If you like chicken and dumplings, it's fantastic. And it'll probably be lunch today. Okay, so I've got that all mixed up. I'm going to add my buttermilk. And there might be a cup in here that might be a little over, so I'm just going to kind of measure it in and then just add if I need more. And if my dough gets too sticky, you can always add a little flour to kind of bring it together. But really, I just want to bring my dough together. mixing. Just a little bit more. There's not much buttermilk left. We should just put it all in here, but I don't want to get it too sticky. But I think I'm going to add the rest. It's just about a cup in there, so that way I can use that all up. I'm a sipping baker. I like to sip my coffee. Anybody that's a coffee drinker out there, you understand. So I got this mixed up into a nice dough. As you can see, I'm going to flour my board and I'm going to put this out and we're going to cut it out. And I have another one of these little cutters. I have a whole set of these. So if you've seen my video from last night from chicken and dumplings dinner, I had a little one, but I have various sizes of this one. And this one's a 2 5/8 inch with the smooth side and the rigid side. I'm going to use the smooth side, and this will make a good sized biscuit for a biscuit sandwich. So let me get some more flour here, and I'll flour my board. And I'll get these babies cut up. I have a cookie sheet already lined with parchment paper. So I like to put a generous amount of flour down too. And let's get this dough off my spoon, and we'll get this out of my bowl. Okay. I'm just gonna put it right onto my flour. This is a little sticky. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of get it into the flour so it's not so sticky. That's why I put down a lot of flour. And we're just gonna get this kind of netted up a little, and I'm gonna roll it out. And I roll it out to about a 1/2 inch thick, and then I will re-roll my scraps and we'll make some nice homemade biscuits. So I'm just gonna kind of spread my flour out a little bit. Put my dough down. Let me get rid of this bowl. And I think I got it pretty well where I want it. I want my biscuits to be thick and fluffy, and I don't want to roll my dough too thin. So if you can see that, back here a little bit so you can kind of see what I got going on. I have my camera adjusted very well. All right, I'm gonna flour up my cutter, and we're just gonna make some nice biscuits. Really simple to put together a biscuit. It's probably one of the simplest things that you can bake, and they're so delicious. These are really good hot out of the oven with some real butter and some honey on them, or jam. I prefer the honey, but they also make a great breakfast sandwich. I don't usually do breakfast in the morning, but being as cold as it is, I think we need something in us that would get us going for the day. It is really super cold out, and I just think this would be a really good start. Usually we do a really good breakfast, like when my nieces come or when my sister's here, we might do pancakes and eggs or French toast, you know, sausage, that sort of thing. Farm fresh eggs. I do have farm fresh eggs. I did not gather my eggs yesterday, so I'm sure yesterday's eggs are probably frozen, so I need to get my butt out to the chicken coop. It's been so cold out. I hate going out when it's really cold. I'm like a hermit when it gets cold. I just want to hole up in the house. These these are a little bit thinner than what I'm hoping, and they'll rise up. So I've got like 8 of them. There's 10, so I don't have 16 biscuits. Maybe if I would have made them smaller, I might get 16, but I'm thinking I will get a dozen. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I should get about 12 biscuits. And for 2 people, this is just perfect. And you can always double this recipe for more if you have a big family or you want to make a lot of biscuits. So that gives me 12 biscuits. And this little bit, I always roll it up and bake it for my dogs, because my dogs, they love my biscuits. When I'm eating one, I can't eat one alone. They have to help us. I just throw that on there. So I'm going to wash my hand, and I'm going to put these into my hot oven. And while they're baking, maybe I'll give you a little kitchen tour of my kitchen, okay? So let me wash my hand, and I will get these in the oven. So my stickiness off. Good morning. Babies are all awake. We have 2 schnauzers and a pit bull and a crazy cat running around here somewhere. So I think he's outside, but I don't think he'll be out there for very long. So I think you can see over here to my oven. Camera positioned very well, but I've got a dozen. Whoops. Let me hang on to that parchment paper slipping around. I've got a dozen beautiful biscuits, and hopefully they'll rise up and get nice and fat. And, I'll be getting some sausage on the stove cooking. I got some little sausage patties. I've got some farm fresh eggs. I have brown eggs and white eggs, and we'll get them cooking on the stove here shortly. So in the meantime, while they're baking, I will give you a little quick tour of my farmhouse kitchen. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna give you a little video tour of the kitchen. This is looking out my kitchen window. If you can see, there's snow out there. It's briskly cold. There is my chicken run and my chicken and goat barn, so I can kind of see them out the kitchen window. But I'm gonna move you around, and I'll try to be slow so I don't make you dizzy. This is my kitchen counter. And the sink, and this is probably most of the view you get when I'm cooking. My mixer. I have a massive, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's massive, but I have a large collection of rolling pins. I'm kind of obsessed. I love the old retro ones. I have a toaster oven because I don't like microwaves, so I don't use one. I use a toaster oven. Cake stand. This is where I keep my silverware and my utensils, cutting boards. I do have cabinets here with drawers and things that I keep things in. This kitchen is unfinished, so if it looks a little odd with the counters, they are temporary because this is a farmhouse and we are working on a remodel. So we've done a lot so far. This is the view out my kitchen, one of my kitchen windows. Then this little bench here is where I feed my kitty, and down below is where my schnauzers usually have. They have their drinking water. I keep a doggy bed in my kitchen because my dogs like to be wherever I'm at. This area here is my coffee bar. This is where I make coffee every day. So we have a bun maker that heats it up into a carafe, so it's not on any hot plate. I love it. Keeps the coffee hot for hours. I have a Keurig, which we don't really use a lot, but it's nice to have a coffee on the go, or if you just want 1 cup. So a collection of coffee cups, my Alexa, and she's getting excited. So there's cupboards up above with things up above to kind of decorate. I have some old items, old lunchbox, thermos, things that are very farmhousey. Over here is like cupboards and pantries, and you can see some of my creative chalk artwork. I did do a video on this, I think it was last year, of a winter snowman. This is this year's. I didn't get around to film this year, but I like to change it up. I'm very creative. I like my chalkboards. Another view out the kitchen window to the fenced-in yard. This is where my dogs go, and you can see all the yellow snow out there. That's where they pee. I have these little stained glass ornaments in my windows. They came from Florida, from an estate sale. This is just some more farmhouse decor, coffee, chalkboards, a little window shelf that I'd found at a little place that sells homemade stuff. This little cart holds some bowls and cookbooks. And I have a dog food container and, of course, my dog bed. Over here, I will let you see my counter. Jim built this counter, and it holds 4 rustic vintage-looking chairs. They're very farmhousey. I love them. We recovered them, although they're not perfect, but they fit the theme of the house. They have that comfort feel. I also have a little metal shelf here at the end of my counter with my large array of cookbooks. So if you see any of my cooking videos, I don't get enough of them, but I try to fix my favorite things. I do love to bake and cook. So meet Millie. She's having breakfast. So I'm gonna kind of take you over here. These doors lead to the outside, to the porch. It's a little messy out there, but if you kind of get the idea of the kitchen, I'm going to move around. It's where we keep our boots. Coat rack as we come in. Just very farmhousey. This cupboard here is one of my favorite things in my kitchen. It is an old retro cupboard. It is filled with all the things that I love. This is not original to the house. This is something that the owners had in here, and I asked her specifically the first time I looked at this house if it stayed, and she said if I wanted to it, and I was like, absolutely. I could tell you a really crazy story on this cupboard, but I will get to that some other time. But I love it, and it's filled with a lot of cool things. I also have a collection of picnic baskets along the side, refrigerator, cupboards, my old cooking stove, pot rack. So this is kind of the view of the kitchen. And I'm gonna try to keep steady because my hand is getting very tired. So let me just kind of move around. I will take you more over here to the cupboard and just kind of let you get a good vision of what's in there and what's up on top. Little signs. And I could probably walk you into my dining room. I said for a while I wanted to give you a farmhouse tour, but I will just give you a quick peek from the kitchen. This is our downstairs bathroom. I like to refer to it as the men's room because the ladies' room is upstairs. That is our pretty bathroom, but this one's just a basic toilet and sink and cupboard. And it's just very nice. And this is my dining room. And I will give you a little tour in here. It's a little cluttery. This is just an extra table set that I've had, and I had it in my old house and I wanted to keep it. So let me give you some pictures and things that are on the walls. And this is my farmhouse door to my enclosed porch. Dining room table. This was found at a Habitat for Humanity. I got a really good deal on it. I love this table. We come in here and dine. And over here I have a little setting area, and I'm sorry I was going to straighten my couch, but this is my derby couch. He likes to get in here and he likes to mess it all up. But this furniture here, I have a little couch and chair. I had gotten in the Outer Banks when I was living down there for a year, and I kept it, and I've recovered this little set twice, and now I have little cushion covers on here because my dogs like to lay in here, and this is a great place to sit and read a book or just be comfortable when you want to visit. I have a little ladder here that I got from my dad's, and I hung some quilts on it. Some of the bottom ones are old and antique-y, and I thought they were really cool. A cupboard that I like to just keep things displayed. A really nice big picture window. I like to keep my plants. My little curtains in this dining room I made myself. I made them black and white. I have the black and white theme going on. Oh, some laundry. And you can see I got a cupboard here. It has a lot of pretty things. Another thing I wanted to point out in this room is I have something really cool over here on this wall. This shelf came from an old estate sale. It was kind of rickety. I saved it, painted it, and I displayed my grandmother's doilies on here. I got this ye old hen house that kind of went with it. But the doilies are really old, older than me. Over 100, I think some of them are my grandmother had made. She has initial on one, and even the top one here has her name on it, Leona, and she might have made that when she was a child. I'm really not sure, but I just think this is a really cool way to have something of my grandmother's in my farmhouse. So I'm going to kind of slowly move back around to the kitchen because this room has like 2 doorways. And this is the laundry area over here. We have our washer and dryer downstairs. Eventually, I'm going to move that upstairs to the bathroom. But this takes you back around to the kitchen. This door here leads to the and it's a back stairway to the upstairs of the house, at the back of the house, which has 2 spare rooms. One is not finished yet, so maybe sometime later we'll get to tour that. But I'm gonna go back around to the kitchen here. I have a nice little wine rack that I've got hanging on my walls. This wine rack came from an estate sale and I loved it, and I keep my bottles of wine on there. This little skinny cupboard is beside my fridge, and I'm going to get my doggy out of the way. Some more of my chalk art is on this cupboard. This is my baking pantry cupboard. I love this cupboard because it keeps everything in it that I bake. So it's just really cool. So refrigerator decor. I love my old signs, home baked goods. That's me. A cute little sign my sister got for me, which is really cute. Stress spelled backwards is desserts. I love desserts. I love making desserts. But anyway, I'm gonna get back over here to where we started. Hey, look, the biscuits are done. All right, so they're nice and hot. I'm gonna butter up one. Stay tuned for some pictures. Thank you for taking the farmhouse tour with me, and I will get back with you. Hey, it's at the end of the video here. I just wanted to show you a quick view of the biscuits. They turned out great, nice and brown. I've got one all buttered up with some jam. I'm not gonna get into the sausage and egg because I'm gonna get busy with that because I really wanna taste one of these biscuits. So I'm hoping you enjoyed this video. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Plenty more to show. So anyway, I will see you back in the sewing room. Have a great day and stay warm. Bye.